why I picked the Rams, is a much better head coach. They were at home. And frankly, I think they have a slightly better overall roster. Not as many holes as Dallas in the back end. And that was the result. Folks, there is something wrong with this offense. And now you're delusional if you can't admit it, because I've seen it over and over and over again. Dallas has a top 3 offensive line, maybe top 5. A top 2 running back, maybe top 3. They may have the best receiving core in the league, let's say top 3. And they had 3 points in the second half on the road with no crowd against a very so Rams defense. Aaron Donald's great. Jalen Ramsey's talented. That's not a great defense. LA's talent's on the offensive side. And y'all love Dak, but at some point now, this is the people that are angry about this. If you're a Cowboy fan, this is about managing your expectations. Your expectations are out of whack. Once again, Dak, a little uncomfortable on the road, above average football team. Here are his second half numbers with Zeke, with the receiving core, with that offensive line, with an offensive coach. His passer rating is 57. Okay, so the Dallas team I saw, this is what I thought I would see. Said on Friday, close game, I'll take the Rams. Sean McVay told you everything he thought about Dak and the Cowboys offense. 5 minutes left. Rams had outplayed the Cowboys, led by only 3, and got the ball. 5 plays, all runs. In fact, one time Jared Goff had an open receiver. He made him go and slide. He told Jared Goff, run, eat the clock. 4th and 1 at the 50, Rams punt. At home, moving the ball, punt. They punted to Dak with 2:28 left and a timeout, and Zeke, and that receiving core, and that offensive line. At home, they'd outplayed Dallas. They basically gave Dallas a chance to win the game. And Dallas, in 10 plays, moved 15 yards. So at this point, if you're struggling with expectations, it's on you. This team looks a lot like what we think. Aldon Smith played pretty well. Dak made a couple of good throws. Now, you don't like the pass interference call late. I get it. But those things even out. Earlier in the game, Jared Goff got picked off and hit in the face. That's illegal, and they allowed the interception. Those things work out over time. Okay, the Saints don't think that. They think the world's against them often. In the NFL, you get a good call, you get a bad call. Over the course of a season, you get about 6 good calls go your way, 6 bad calls go against you, whatever. But in the last 14 games, Dallas is 5-9. That's the reality. Dallas and Dak, 22 TDs, 9 interceptions in those 14 games. That's in a division that may be the worst in football. That's the reality. I mean, yesterday we all saw special. We saw it on Thursday with Mahomes. Russell Wilson, ridiculous. Lamar Jackson, hello. Aaron Rodgers, old Aaron Rodgers. We saw special all day. You see between both those teams, there's not a lot of special. Rams are better, but there's not a lot of special here. So at some point, I just think we have to be honest with expectations with Dallas. They have a pretty good head coach. You don't think he's as good as Kyle Shanahan or Belichick or Andy Reid or Sean Payton. They have a pretty good quarterback, but you don't think he's Russell, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers. And it was a pretty good opening performance. Anything beyond that is on Cowboy fans. It's not on the team. They are exactly what they should be. All right, so let's talk about Tom Brady. So I have a theory in life, and we all potentially can get caught up in our emotions in the moment. We all do it. You do it. I do it. You get caught up in the moment, and the world's ending, and you're overly dramatic. But I have a theory called the say it out loud theory. I got 6 kids. None are in jail. I'm a good enough parent. If they're successful or failures in life, it'll be on them. I kept them out of jail. I kept them alive. I fed them. They're healthy. It's good enough. Now, day to day, I may go crazy. They may drive me nuts. They'll yell at me. I'll yell at them. But if you're a parent with a bunch of kids, none are in jail, they're all still going to school, they're good kids, they're kind, they're empathetic, semi-curious, you did a good job. Don't outthink the room. You're going to have bad days and great days. So just say this out loud. A 43-year-old quarterback with a brand new coach and a brand new system and brand new teammates, with a so-so offensive line and his best receiver missed most of practice this week, went on the road and lost to the NFC favorites. Okay. There's a reason Tom Brady was an underdog for the first time in, 5 years? When the schedule came out and you saw this game, didn't you think New Orleans was going to win? In fact, you thought they were going to win by more, but because of COVID, there's no fans in the stands. This was a 43-year-old quarterback with a new coach for the first time in his career and a new system and a new offensive line with no preseason and no OTAs. And Mike Evans was hurt during camp and didn't practice this week. When Brady made mistakes yesterday, and he was better than everybody is saying, he had a couple of deep balls, pass interference that would have been completed. So if not for that, Brady didn't play terribly. The Saints are maybe the best roster in the NFC. I don't think they're Baltimore. I don't think they're Kansas City. This is the Saints. When you got your schedule, this was an L. You put a big L there. Even people in Tampa that were realistic are like, this is a bad opening. I think that when the schedule came out, we said that. We're like, Brady didn't get any breaks on the opener. This is what it looks like. Mike Evans and Tom Brady had a communication error. Yes, of course. You didn't have 4 preseason games to work any of this stuff out. I mean, what I saw yesterday, the good teams look still good. The bad teams are still bad. The good teams missed preseason, but they had momentum from last year. Didn't get anybody hurt in preseason. And the bad teams didn't have time to sandpaper the rough edges off, and they were still mostly Cleveland and Cincinnati. That's what the league looked like. All Tampa's been doing for weeks and months is new player, new guy, new tackle, new draft pick, new tight end. Tom Brady said afterwards, it's mistakes. Mistakes, a new coach, a new team, a new system clearly are going to have to get through.
Anytime you turn the ball over like we did, we had opportunities out there to make plays and it just came up short. So there's no excuses, and we're the only ones that could do something about it. The Saints kind of play how they always play. They did a good job on offense. We hung our defense out to dry, on some short fields with not moving the ball, not, doing very well on third down at certain times. The turnovers really hurt us. And, got to clean that up for next week. We got to do a lot better job.
I'm going to make a prediction. They're going to look much better against Carolina's defense next week. They're going to look much better in October. And when they play the Saints in Week 9 in Tampa, they'll probably look better then. Now, I do believe one of the things I really kept preaching over and over again, New England, you saw it yesterday, efficient, no mistakes, no penalties. No. Tampa's different. What Brady is going to have to get used to is he's got more weapons, but Tampa as a franchise has got more baggage. Special teams in Tampa have been bad forever. Yesterday, they got a punt blocked. That never happens in New England. Yesterday, Tampa had 9 penalties. That doesn't happen a lot in New England. That's what Tom's going to have to get used to. This is a different scenario. The most rigid, perfected, well-oiled machine in the NFL is New England. Tampa's often just well-oiled. Not much machine stuff. They're just a little sloppy and a little loose and a little weird and a punt blocked and 9 penalties. And this is what Tampa is. That's, to me, the struggle with Tom. I mean, when you go, remember that old, I don't even know if it's still on the air. It was called Family Swap or Wife Swap or something. When you go from a family that puts their money away and they sit together as a family and read at night, and they're very efficient and very quiet, and they go to bed early and they eat their vegetables, and then you go to another family, it's like, pate, it's Tuesday night, what? Pate, Wednesday night, what? Tampa's a little loose. They can't get special teams right. They're a little wild. Cocktails earlier, not very buttoned up. They weren't yesterday. That is Tom's issue, not losing to the Saints. That's a great team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl.